So I'm about to tell you a story from when I first started working. And I was a telecommunications consultant when I first got out of college. And my first assignment was in the Capitol in DC. And there are two interesting things that happened to me there. One that was just sort of an interesting anecdote, and one that really changed my life. It was a true life lesson. I was in the Capitol building, and I tend not to walk at a slow pace. I am not a woman who ambles, and I never have been. I walk at a really fast pace. I'm about 21 years old, barreling around a corner, and I literally run into a man. And he's wearing a white shirt. He's got a very dark brown chocolate cake on a plate in front of him, a cup of coffee in his other hand, and I barreled into this man. It was just this crash, and he was so kind. He was really, really kind. I was mortified. It was completely my fault. And I said, "Oh my goodness, are you okay?" He goes, "I'm fine. I'm worried about you. Are you okay?" And I said, "I'm absolutely fine. This could have been catastrophic. I mean, that chocolate cake and that coffee, I don't know how it isn't all over your white shirt." And he said, "Not to worry. I have plenty of other white shirts back up in my office." And as I walked away from him, I thought, that man looked a lot like Ted Kennedy. In fact, it was. That's how I met Ted Kennedy. I literally ran into him. Why was I in the Capitol? To begin with, I was doing a project for the architect of the Capitol. And if you don't know, the architect of the Capitol is a branch, but it's also a person. It is a person who is responsible for the Capitol complex itself. So they're responsible for the buildings, for building them, for maintaining them, and for anything new that will be added to the buildings. And the architect of the Capitol at the time was a man named George White, and he was appointed by Nixon. So the architect of the Capitol is appointed by the president, approved by the Senate, and they have that office for life. This man, so if you picture, I'm 21 and I'm green, just out of college, and this man was really close to 70. And we were working together on this project, or I was doing the project for him. And what he wanted to do was update the phone system for all of the Capitol buildings. And my job was to write the RFP, which is basically, it's a request for proposal. So my job was to write out exactly what he needed, put it out to the companies so that they could bid on it, and it was a multi-million-dollar project. So here's the life lesson. This man was a genius. This man, he had an engineering degree from MIT, a master's from MIT, he had an MBA from Harvard, and just to top it off, he also had an architect degree and a law degree. Brilliant man. And he sat down with me and he put a phone in front of me, and he asked me questions about this phone. How does this phone work? What happens when you dial the phone? What is the difference between a rotary dial and a push button dial? Once you do that, where does it go? Where does this message from the dial go? And at first I thought, these are kind of stupid questions. I mean, doesn't everybody know what a dial phone is and what a push button phone is? This brilliant man is asking me the dumbest questions. And then what happened over the course of time is he started very basic and asked me question after question after question until we were talking about multiplexers, we're talking about the equipment in the phone company, how the wide area network works. He went very, very deep into how the phone system works. And then something crazy happened. He started asking me questions I didn't know the answers to. Not only did I not know the answers, I never even thought to ask the question. So what this man had done was gone from knowing next to nothing about the way phones and the phone system operates to knowing everything I knew about the phone system, and then going beyond to being able to ask questions that I had never thought of, all in the course of about an hour or two. It was incredible. And what I learned from that was never be afraid to ask questions. He opened my whole world to that. Before that, I was afraid to ask questions. And he's the one who really enlightened me and taught me that that is the way that we learn. We knew this. We all knew this from the age of 2, right? When we're asking all kinds of questions. But somehow, somewhere along the line, I became afraid to ask questions. And he never did. And that is why he knew so much. It was It was an amazing gift to give me early in my career. Who are the people in your life that are similar to the architect of the Capitol for me? Who has given you major life lessons, maybe just from a very simple interaction? I'd love to hear from you below. And subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe below. What are you waiting for? I'll see you again soon.